I did have quite a few doubts. Could I do meaningful resistance training with it? Is it going to feel really locked in and just a little bit too mechanical, up, down? What are the limitations? Is the range of movement going to be good enough? Is it going to work? Or is it, is it going to be one of those things that just doesn't function? First impressions, literally mind blown. Hi, I'm James and I am a fitness professional. I've been in the industry for 25 years, having gone through university and completed my sports science degree. I started my own personal training company in 2007. And here we are, 2023. That went quick. So why was I looking for a home gym solution? I work really long hours and I've got a small daughter. If I'm not working, I want to be spending time with my daughter, watching her grow, helping her learn, and just be present as a dad for her, and that is really important for me. It's also really important for me to do my resistance training because it's my sanctuary, it's my release, it's my well-being, and I love it. And without that, I just don't function as well. So I knew I needed a way to train, and to train at home, and to do good quality, progressively overloading resistance training. Just happened to be on YouTube one day and a tiny little video popped up, and it was this weird looking machine, and the person in the video was doing squats and deadlifts and bench presses and tricep press downs and bicep curls and shoulder presses, and I thought, wow, that's the answer. Surely that's the answer. So that was my excited brain. And then my sort of more scientific, quizzical brain was thinking, oh, how's it going to work? Is it going to work? Or is it going to be one of those things that just doesn't function? So with that in mind, I started doing a little bit of digging and a bit of researching. I got onto the EISENHORN website. I looked at all the products. I read all the information. So I read all of the backstory. I read the history. I read about Mike, the guy that invented it and has been essentially, this has been his life's work for 40 years. So really interesting backstory. So worth a read actually. Having seen the components that make it up, I could start to understand the mechanics behind how it would work, but there were still some bits I was unsure of. So I sent some emails, and I had some emails back. So Dom, who works with EISENHORN, and I had this email exchange, and then we decided the best thing to do would be to jump into a virtual showroom, and Dom would show me the machine and answer any questions I had, which is amazing for me, a nightmare for him, because I just fired questions at him. I had tons of questions, things I really wasn't sure about, things I just really needed to know before maybe I took this any further. Dom was great. We got in on the video. I asked him everything I needed to know. He went through everything. He showed me, he did the movements on the machine. He showed me the accessories, which was fantastic. So what were my doubts? I did have quite a few doubts because here it is on the wall behind me. Now, it's got the wooden doors in it, but you can see it's quite a slender wall mounting system. It's quite a slender looking piece of equipment. It's quite narrow, And I've come from a traditional resistance training background where it is dumbbells, barbells, plates, plate-loaded machines, and cable machines. And so trying to get my head around how this would compare to lumps of metal against gravity was one of my questions. Could I do meaningful resistance training with it and get a progressive overload? Does the piston offer resistance in both the concentric phase and then the eccentric phase, or am I just going to push against the piston and then I've almost got to pull it back down and start again? That was a big question. Is it going to feel really locked in and just a little bit too mechanical, up, down, and not free enough, was a question. What are the limitations? Is the range of movement going to be good enough? I'm 6'2", I've got reasonably long limbs. Can it take me doing a full shoulder press, bottom to top, without bottoming out 3/4 of the way through the rep? So this is all stuff I was really interested to know. Those are questions that I posed to Dom when we had this virtual show round, and he answered all of them. And I was satisfied. I thought, okay, I'm going to go for it. So why did I end up ordering the machine? Having realised that I needed a home exercise solution, my training was just getting less and less and less. My wellness was not great, and so I thought, you know, let's just go for it. Jump in, let's jump in. Get yourself sorted out, boy. Okay, so what were my first impressions when I first trained with the EISENHORN? I just set about doing one of the most simple moves, which is the overhead shoulder press. I had the standard piston in, the piston 12. I started it on the first tooth, really like, and just repped a load out just to get a feel of it. What did I think? Literally mind blown. It is buttery smooth, the creamiest butter, it's smooth. Mental, I don't know how they do it. The resistance is really nice because you can go from super, super light at the first notch with the lightest piston, and you just adjust the piston out all the way out to number 12, and that thing gets heavy. Heavier, 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 heaviest, almost undoable, impossible. And then when you've got to that point and you want more, you just change that piston out and put the heavy piston in, and you go again. So for progressive overload, it's going to be awesome. The movements are silky smooth. The range of movement is stunning. So I'm 6'2", long arms, and actually it works for me. It does the whole range of movement without bottoming out at the top or at the bottom. I love the fact that you can just adjust the dial, turn the sled, bring it down, deadlift with it, squat with it, bench press with it, bicep curl with it, press down with it, add in the pulley, do tons of stuff at length, far away, overhead tricep presses at a different angle, huge wood chops, big abdominal rotations, leg stuff, lighter rotator movements for your stabilizers. I was literally blown away. It is beyond what I expected in terms of how it moves. It isn't mechanically locked in. It doesn't feel like it is. The horn itself is wooden, and so naturally wood has a little bit of movement in it. When you put in the wooden bar, it sits in what is essentially a loop of really super strong climbing webbing, and actually that bar has lateral movement. So when you're overhead pressing, for example, if you have one strong side and you're uneven, the strong side will lead, and you will know about it. The weak side gets left behind. It's not like a Smith machine bar where the bar is locked and actually the stronger arm can almost take over and take the weak one up there. So you have got to be stable. It will tell you if you're unstable. There's an organic movement to it. So there is some freedom in that movement, and it does feel really nice. I love using the straps, the press downs, lifts, overhead stuff, different sort of squats. It's endless. I love it. First impressions, blown out the water. Nice, like it, good work. In conclusion, I'm gutted that I haven't had this years ago. I am super happy a weird little advert popped up on YouTube. I'm super happy I didn't poo-poo it and just think, oh, that'll be rubbish. I'm happy I just looked into it, made contact, chatted with Dom, and then got it. I'm happy. I'm a happy boy. Ba-ding! Thanks for coming. If you're not sure about getting one, just get one. I know there's a cost to it, but there's nothing in life more beneficial to spend your money on than your own health and the health of your family members. So get it, love it, set yourself some good targets with it, and just, think progressive, consistent work. You'll get stronger, you'll be more healthy, it will help your mental well-being, your body composition will change over time, your movement and mobility and balance, all of that stuff will improve. So just dive in, let's get it going. Thanks for watching.